Now, what other types of things do we have in Wireless Merchant that we haven't looked at? Well, we haven't looked at customers. So let's look at what the customer button actually does. When you click on it, and if you're allowed to view this detail, you can actually look at my customer detail. So what this will do is allow you to have all the information, such as their phone numbers, their emails, data, any of their address information, their ship to location information. And the cool thing about it is that you can actually click on the phone and have it auto dial the customer, or if you wanted to email the customer, you could auto email by clicking on the actual email address. So that's what's under the customer detail section. And notice there's a sync data button here. So if you wanted to and just get the updated data information for my customers, I can click on the sync data and that will get all the customer profile information downloaded if I haven't done a full sync under the setup. Next thing I can do is I can actually click on and view their outstanding accounts receivable. So if I was to look in here, I would see every single transaction that's sitting in the system that hasn't been completed yet, meaning it hasn't been paid, hasn't been, credit note hasn't been used, those sorts of things. Payments haven't been applied. So anything that's in here you can see. Now, notice that there's an invoice here, and there's an invoice, a bunch of different invoices. What would happen if I clicked on that? Well, if I clicked on it, what it'll do is it will look to see whether it has information from a current wireless merchant that I could then process into a copy invoice. That one didn't process properly because it didn't have the proper information. Let's see if I had another one that might actually be able to do. So there we go. So I clicked on this invoice. Now what it's done is it's copied that exact same invoice and brought it in here so that I can actually do an invoice. So notice that at the top it says invoice here. It's got the two items that were in the thing, in the order or invoice. And then if I click done, and if you were to match the order invoice, it would actually match exactly to what we just saw. Now, if I do not want to complete this, I can actually go back and say clear all, and what that does is it completely, cancels that invoice that I was going to do, and then I back out, and then I'm back out to the main screen. So it got me out of the customer into transactions and into invoice automatically when you're doing that. So that's what happens with an outstanding receivables. Now I can do the same thing with order status. So I can click at an order status and I can view all my different transactions. Now, what do we have available? I have completed transactions. That means that I have an order in the system and it's been completed and fully invoiced. Now, I also have not shipped yet, which means that it's an order in the system and nothing has been done to it. And then I also have partially shipped, meaning that I placed an order, I have some items that we have shipped out, but there's back orders, and those items have orders that are still sitting in the system. Now, if I was to look at my completed orders, again, I can scroll through and see all these different orders. And again, if I wanted to take this order and say, hey, I want to copy this exact same order and recreate a new one, I can click on this, it will go through the process and bring up all the items, and again, I have the ability to edit these or add to the order. So if the customer said, hey, I want the same order as I had last time, however, I want to add some new items, that's how you would actually process that. I can click done, and then again, submit the order. Order has been entered, and it's now a brand new order with a new order number, with the same information or with edited or added information to it. Now also within here you can actually look on just the status of email and phone number. So if I just wanted to see that, here's their information and I can go directly, so you don't have to scroll through all their information, it just brings it up here. And then lastly, we have the ability to create a customer. Now, what does that mean? That means that if I have the availability and it's not shaded out, I could actually come in here and create a brand new customer that I can then start using and entering data for them. So if I'm out at a trade show, I got a new customer, they want to place an order, but I need to get their information into the system and place an order, this is how you would do it. So you would enter in all the information, it would then go through, and then once you save it, it will add that customer, and then what it does is go out to Sage, adds it to the customer, syncs back so that you now have the ability to actually process an order for that one particular client. And then you can sync all data information. So everything that you see in here, I can click on sync, and it'll sync all the data for all the customer information. And that's the customer profile information that you can do within Wireless Merchant. Thanks for watching this video.